Hello, it's Cameron here. I'm just going to be doing a quick video talking about Amazon because they released their fourth quarter 2021 results and their share price went up. I think it was 11.8, yeah, 11.85%. I think in the pre-market there, and then by the end of the day was up 13.54%. So I'm just going to be talking about why that is, looking at a few of the areas of the report that I found quite interesting, and seeing, because basically my opinion is that it should come back down. If I'm being honest, I don't think the quarter was as good as everyone's making it out to be. So the first point, operating cash flow decreased by 30%. Obviously not very good. But then if we compare that to free cash flow, decreased to 9.1 billion. Or an outflow of 9.1 billion compared to an inflow of 31 billion. That looks really, really bad. But I looked further into it, and Amazon was sort of had announced that they were expecting this. Two things: they've been looking to increase capital expenditure and global warehouse space, which is going to decrease their cash by quite a bit, and they were quite open about that, and they said they just weren't prioritizing it. So I'm not too worried about that, if I'm being honest. Anyway, let's look at the net sales. So net sales obviously increased 9% in the fourth quarter, compared to fourth quarter 2020, which is very good. However, compared with fourth quarter 2020. But yeah, their operating income actually decreased to 3.5 billion, which is compared with 6.9 billion, which is the thing that I find quite worrying, even though their net sales increased. And this is because, as we can see here, so the net income has increased absolutely massively. It's doubled. However, this is what I think most people seem to be looking at when deciding where they think Amazon should be at. So this net income figure includes an unrealized gain in Rivian Automotive, which I think at the end of 2021 was at $100 per share. So if you have a look at it now, I'll look at the year to date. So it was $102 for the report. It's now sitting at, well, $60 basically. So that's a 40% decrease. So in the next quarter, if Rivian stock doesn't bounce back, they're going to have to report it as a huge loss, and I think that's going to bring the stock right back down. And this is one of the things that I think people are completely focusing on, is they're just looking at the net income figures and not the operating income and cash figures, because they're just not as good as people are making out. Moving on, if we look at the net sales figures, net sales increased 22%. That's really good. There was a point I wanted to make about that, is that that's very good, but they are predicting their growth to slow. So they said, I think it was 9% it grew in the fourth quarter of 2021, and they're expecting their sales to grow between 3 and 8% compared with the first quarter. So so they're not as confident in how much their growth is going to be, and I can't remember what it was second quarter of 2021. But yeah, that's obviously not great, and this is what I mean by, I don't understand why this it's jumped by so much. As far as I'm concerned, the actual gains they've had isn't through their operations. It's almost entirely made up by Rivian, and Rivian's stock price has gone down by 40%. So if I'm being honest, at their next quarterly report, unless Rivian stock doesn't bounce back, I fully expect this to drag right back down. And if I'm being honest, I was expecting it to decrease over this period. I was expecting it to decrease today, but it just hasn't. So I'm not entirely sure. I will be looking at it a lot more, but I definitely think it should come back down, if I'm being honest. But yeah, that's all the video for today. Just a quick one on Amazon. I thought it was pretty self-explanatory. I just think the stocks I really don't understand why. So I personally would short it. But yeah, thank you very much for listening.